In this lesson, we'll learn how we can edit the placement of different phoneme mouth expressions by using the sound editor. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so in our previous lesson, we learned how we can map our phonemes to where they sync up with the audio that we've imported, and we just used our lip sync mapping function that's available to us here in Harmony. This is also available in Animate and Animate Pro as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and play this one more time.
Digital tutors, teaching the people who make movies and games.
And again, that's looking pretty good. However, I've already noticed a couple of spots where the audio probably isn't mapping up or syncing up as well with the phonemes that we have. Namely right in here, around frame 16, probably frame 16 through 18, where he's saying tutors. We don't really have that ooh mouth expression. So just to kind of show you what that looks like, it's this one right here, that U phoneme, where he can make that kind of that ooh tutors sound, okay? So we could manually change that down here in the cells for our mouths layer. However, we're going to explore how we can very easily switch out multiple ones using the sound editor. We're basically going to be switching out phonemes that we already have mapped. So to get to the sound editor, we're just going to go to the Layers Properties view for our audio layer. Okay, and this will basically allow us to scrub through and hear the audio. Now to do this, you want to actually check mark scrubbing so you can hear it. And as I scrub through, you can also see that example of the mouth expressions changing appropriately based off of the phonemes that we have mapped to each one of these. Okay, so again, in our previous lesson, we mapped our MVP mouth expression to its appropriate spot right here where we have that closed mouth. This one would be the consonants, your E, and then your AI, and so forth. So here on frames 16 and 17, we probably want to have that U mouth expression. And we can see that on 17, which is probably the spot where we want to put it, we don't have that mouth expression. Instead, we have that E mouth expression, C, right there. What we want is F, which is our U phoneme, okay? So what we can do is easily click on that, and that's going to be reserved now for that spot. So as we scrub over that frame, we can see now it's F, or the U phoneme, okay? So we can go ahead and click close, and if we look back down here in our camera view and we scrub through our timeline, we actually see that it's not there, okay? Now, what's up with that? Well, basically, you need to remap everything. So going back into our map right there, we would have to go back through and remap everything for that change to take place. So ideally, what you want to go ahead and do is scrub through your audio down here in your timeline view, see what your phonemes, how they're reacting over here in your camera view, and then come into your sound editor and then make those changes accordingly on all through your audio track here, basically switching out phonemes as you see fit, and then go through and remap for those changes to take place. So we'll go ahead and remap for that one change that we've made. And I'm going to go ahead and pause the video and basically copy and paste in the appropriate names for their appropriate spots for all those phonemes. Okay, so now that I've remapped all of my phonemes down here, I also want to make sure that I have my destination layer correct. So each time you launch this lip sync mapping dialog box, you want to make sure that your destination layer is correct, because odds are it's probably changed. So let's go ahead and click OK. Okay, and so now that we've done that, we can see now that that change that we made in our sound editor for frame 17 has taken effect. So now we can play back through.
Digital tutors, teaching the people who make movies and games.
Okay, cool. So what we're going to go ahead and explore in our next lesson is manual lip syncing, okay? And as I mentioned in our previous lesson, the lip sync mapping dialog box doesn't give us enough spaces to place all 9 of our basic phonemes, right? So just to reiterate that, we don't have options to include the WQ phoneme, which is for our kind of our w or qu. And then we also don't have options to include the LD and TH phoneme, basically for our l or a d or a th phonemes, right? And so we can still have additional phonemes, all the ones we want, but we're going to have to go ahead and do that manually, okay? And we're going to talk about why you would want to take this sound editor approach and switch out any already mapped phonemes first before going into any manual modifications to phonemes. So stick around and we'll tackle that in our next lesson.